The dust in Calico Junction clung to everything like old sin. It drifted under porch rails and into glasses of whiskey. It chalked the boots of every man who thought himself mean enough to own the town. Late afternoon painted the sky the color of dried blood when Elena Marlowe ran from the back door of the gambling hall, clutching a satchel to her chest. She had seen too much, names, deeds, maps, and the men inside knew it. Boots thundered after her. A rough hand snagged her shawl and yanked her into the street. "You think you can run, schoolmarm?" One of them barked, his voice thick with tobacco. Elena's knees hit the dirt, her palms scraping raw. She tasted copper and grit as the gang dragged her toward the edge of town, where the river cut a thin brown line through the plains. People on porches looked away. A child's voice called for its mother and was shushed. Elena's heart hammered. She clutched the satchel tighter. If she could just make it past the next bend. A horse snorted. From the far end of the street, a single rider approached. At brim low, coat flapping like a worn banner. He was tall in the saddle, the kind of tall that didn't need boasting. Dust rose around his horse's hooves as he slowed to a walk, eyes fixed on the commotion. Cole Hart had ridden a long way for a quiet meal and a new canteen. Instead, he found 4 men dragging a woman through dirt like a carcass. He slid from his horse without a word. The gang noticed him only when his boots hit the ground. "Move along, stranger," their leader said. Cole's hand hovered near his coat but didn't draw. His voice was even low. "Let her go." The wind picked up, swirling the street's dust into tiny, whirling ghosts. Even the town clock seemed to stop. Elena looked up through her, tangled hair at the stranger who had stepped between her and the rough men. And for the first time since she'd run, she thought maybe she'd live to see tomorrow. The leader spat into the dirt. He had a scar running from jaw to collarbone and eyes like gunmetal. "Ain't your business, cowboy. Step aside." Cole didn't move. He studied the faces one by one. 2 of them had calloused hands from rope. One had a rifle slung across his back. They were used to no one telling them no. "I said," Cole repeated softly, "let her go." Elena's captor tightened his grip on her arm. "Maybe you ain't heard of us. I heard enough," Cole cut in. His tone still mild but sharp enough to slice paper. 4 on 1. Not much sport in that. The gang shifted uneasily. The street had gone silent. A dog barked once, then hid under a porch. The sun slid lower, shadows stretching like fingers across the ground. Elena's mind raced. She knew if a shot rang out, she might not survive the crossfire. Her satchel, a bundle of evidence she had risked. Everything to collect felt like a stone pulling her down. Cole stepped forward, his boots stirring more dust. His coat fell back just enough to reveal the worn, but well-oiled, revolver at his hip. He didn't touch it, but he let them see it. "I'm only going to ask one more time." The leader laughed, but the sound was brittle. "Boys, teach him what happens to meddlers." Cole's eyes narrowed. The town clock ticked again, and the wind died. The street held its breath. 4 men with hands hovering near their belts. One drifter with a revolver in easy reach, and a schoolteacher with a satchel clutched like a life raft. The setting sun turned the dust to gold, but no one moved. Cole Hart's voice was quiet but firm. "I don't like repeating myself." "Let the lady go," Scarjaw sneered. "You got no idea who you're messing with." "I know enough." Cole's fingers flexed, loose and ready. "You drag a woman through the street, you're cowards. Step away." One of the gang spat and reached for his pistol. That was all the excuse Cole needed. His hand blurred, the revolver clearing leather with a whisper. The first shot cracked the silence, sending birds scattering from the rooftops. The man's pistol spun from his hand before he could fire. He howled, clutching his wrist. "Next one moves loses more than a pistol," Cole said evenly, smoke curling from his gun barrel. Elena scrambled back, bumping into the watering trough. Her heart hammered, but she kept the satchel tight. Scarjaw cursed. "Get him!" The second man lunged forward, drawing a knife. Cole pivoted, his boot kicking up dust, and fired again, not to kill but to make the blade fly from the attacker's grip. It clanged off a hitching post. The man stumbled and went down. "2 down," Cole murmured. "Who's next?" The third man, the one with the rifle slung on his back, hesitated. His eyes darted to Scarjaw. He didn't sign up for this. Cole angled himself so his body shielded Elena. "Get behind me, miss." Elena obeyed, ducking low. "Why are you helping me?" she whispered. Cole kept his eyes on the gang. "Don't have much taste for bullies." Scarjaw's lip curled. "You're a dead man, Cowboy." He gestured sharply to the rifleman. "Take him!" The rifleman fumbled to swing the weapon forward, but Cole was already moving. He fired once more, a precise shot that shattered the rifle's stock just above the trigger. Splinters flew. The man yelped and dropped the weapon. Scarjaw's bravado faltered. 3 shots, 3 disarmed men, none dead, but all too scared to test the 4th. Cole's reputation was being written in real time. "Now," Cole said softly, "I suggest you walk away. All of you." For a heartbeat it seemed they might. Then Scarjaw's eyes flicked to Elena. "She's got something." "Of ours," he snarled. "She's coming with us." Cole stepped closer, revolver steady. "She's under my protection." Scarjaw spat. "Ain't enough to stop what's coming." "Sheriff's in our pocket." "You can't save her." Cole's jaw tightened. "Try me." Scarjaw's face twisted with rage. He yanked Elena from behind the trough with a sudden move and dragged her toward the river road. "Then you'll have to kill me to stop me." Elena cried out, kicking, but he had her arm locked tight. The other 2 gang members, shaken but still dangerous, scrambled to follow. Cole cursed under his breath and sprinted after them. He didn't fire, too much chance of hitting Elena. They barreled out of town, down the dusty road toward the Red River. The sun sagged low, throwing long orange beams across the scrubland. Cole's horse snorted and galloped after its master. Elena fought Scarjaw's grip. "Let me go," she gasped. The satchel banged against her ribs with every step. Scarjaw snarled in her ear. "You're gonna hand over them papers or you're fish bait." Cole closed the distance, boots pounding, revolver still in his hand but aimed low. "Scarjaw!" he barked. "It ends now!" Scarjaw spun, dragging Elena in front of him like a shield. The other 2 men circled, trying to flank Cole. The Red River gurgled nearby, swollen from spring rains. The wooden bridge creaked in the wind. Horses snorted in the distance. Cole slowed, eyes scanning for advantage. He saw the bridge, the water, the loose boards, the hanging rope from an old ferry line. He filed it away. "Let her go," he called. "You know you can't win." Scarjaw laughed, but it was a little too high-pitched now. "Maybe not, but I can sure take her with me." Cole holstered his revolver slowly, raising his hands. "You want the papers? Take me instead." Elena stared at him, eyes wide. Scarjaw barked a laugh. "You ain't got nothing I want." "Then shoot me," Cole said calmly. "But let her go." For a moment, even Scarjaw hesitated. This wasn't how men usually talked to him. One of the other gang members muttered, "Boss, maybe we ought to—" "Shut up," Scarjaw snapped. Cole's eyes flicked to Elena. "Now," he whispered. She understood. Without thinking, she swung the satchel like a club, slamming it into Scarjaw's midsection. He grunted, loosening his grip. Cole lunged forward, knocking Scarjaw off balance. They tumbled onto the bridge. The boards creaked dangerously. The other 2 gang members rushed forward. Elena snatched up a fallen branch and swung it at them, catching one across the face. He yelped and stumbled into the mud. Cole and Scarjaw grappled at the edge of the bridge. The river roared below. Scarjaw drew a hidden knife, slashing at Cole's side. Cole gritted his teeth, twisting the man's wrist until the blade clattered into the water. "End of the line," Cole growled. Scarjaw spat blood. "Ain't over." He lunged again. Cole pivoted, using Scarjaw's momentum to fling him against the broken railing. It splintered. With a shout, Scarjaw toppled backward into the Red River. Vanishing into the current, silence fell except for the river's roar. Cole stood panting, one hand pressed to his bleeding side. Elena dropped the branch and ran to him. "You're hurt." He shook his head. "Just a scratch." The remaining 2 gang members stared at the river, then at Cole. Without their leader, their nerve broke. They bolted, leaving weapons behind. Elena helped Cole off the bridge. "We have to get you to a doctor." "Later." He glanced at the satchel. "You still got it?" She nodded. "Every paper, every name." Cole gave a faint smile. "Good, then this was worth it." Sirens of hoofbeats echoed. At last the sheriff and his deputies, late and cautious, arriving after the fight,